Women are not venture capitalists. Today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Welcome again to another Sunday video when we disconnect from economics, geopolitics, numbers, data, and so on and so on. And we talk something fun, but today we are going to talk about venture capital, but not the one that this particular Indian man that is very famous. We are not going to issue a SPAC, or we are not going to invest with Peter Thiel, and we are not going to invest on the NASDAQ, anything like that. I'm talking a completely different venture capital. We are talking venture capital, but not the one that you know. We are talking about venture social capital. So I just coined that term, so let's see if it catch up. But anyways, now the main issue is why women are not venture capitalists. And the reason is that the mindset of a female regarding evolutionary psychology is that women are not risk takers as men that we are. And because, of course, our survival as men requires to take a bunch of risks. And if you're watching this channel, especially if you're from abroad, you are a risk taker. Venezuela is for the most courageous investors and travelers and that kind of thing. Shout out to you guys, by the way. But anyways, now, the thing about risk is that risk is not something that should be avoided. It's something that should be managed, and something that I learned the hard way. Anyways, now the issue with women that their survival doesn't depend on risk. Depends on social things, being polite and being pretty and be helpful and develop both her physical traits and also the being, on a good race with their social niche. Very good. Now, the issue is that the biggest thing regarding survival, I'm talking evolutionary, not right now, well, right now it's still the same, kind of the same thing, is that women, in order to survive, and thrive and also pass their genes to the next generation, they need to pick the best suited mate, suited candidate, that usually a big guy or a wealthy guy or the best hunter or something like that. Now, of course, we don't hunt anymore. The reason that I mention this is because if you, as a man, have a particular mindset regarding first, most men are very pragmatic, at least the successful ones, doing their analysis and that kind of thing, and you have this issue that women are not like that. And the reason is because first, it's on their best interest not being like that, not taking risk. And the second thing is they don't have to. Talking about present day is that women, especially the younger ones and the pretty ones, they have more choices. And their job is to pick the best candidate possible. If you're a young female, you either want to pick the one that is already successful or the one that is not successful yet, because most likely he is a young individual and the learning curve is long. Probably if you're watching this, the average millionaire in the United States becomes a millionaire at 42, and the average age of a millionaire in the United States is 57 years old. And this is the country where becoming millionaire is the easiest. Women have to pick someone that has the skills, the traits, in order to, becoming successful on the long run. Now, the issue is that, of course, there are just a handful of this particular gentlemen compared to the demand for most women, that most women want that particular gentleman as well. And just a handful, supply and demand. Now, what happens is that most women don't want to wait because, of course, they are impatient, and some of them don't have to be patient. They can just have a turnkey relationship, and that's the key. Most women want the turnkey relationship, but if they want a man that is similar on the same age cohort, it's going to be practically impossible because making money and being financially successful and that kind of thing takes years and years and years and years. And in that regard, this gray hair is not for nothing here on my beard. Well, anyways, the issue is that many men, especially younger men, get frustrated for this particular situation because we have work very hard and hope there are a couple things that doesn't depend on us, get bullseye in order to actually become somehow successful. There's a phrase from a YouTuber named Rich Cooper. He says that women don't care about your struggle. They wait at the finish line and mate with the winners. And of course, it's not made the word, but I mean, please bear with me. Well, anyways, and that's most cases. Now, the issue is that most women they are not, let's say, competitive enough in order to already be at the finish line. They have to drag down a potential winner, at least for themselves. Now, the way that I see the world right now, compared to the world as it used to be, the 50s or the 80s could be this way, that, the traditional family and many people got married with their high school sweetheart or a college mate or even a co-worker, something like that. I don't recommend co-workers, but if you're happily married with your co-worker, shout out to you, wish you the best. Now, that used to be the old school dichotomy that we are not seeing right now. What I'm seeing right now is regarding the population and the dating market. And by the way, when I do this analysis, I don't do it just for fun. It's part of my demographic analysis. Just, disclaimer on that. Well, anyways, what I see right now is similar to what I'm seeing on the Nasdaq and the quote-unquote FANG stocks. Talking stocks like Amazon, Apple, Google, Tesla right now, NVIDIA. I know some of you are investing on NVIDIA. Shout out to you, by the way. I see the report recently. But anyways, just a handful of companies are dominating the market. So you have these particular big juggernauts on tech, and you have companies on the Russell 2000 or something like that. Those are the middle companies, the basic, business as usual companies. Those companies actually are underperforming and they are not doing as well. So same thing I'm seeing with the quote-unquote main market, that it's going to be just a handful, the fan stocks, the tech companies, the fancy companies, and the rest they're going to struggle a lot. It's not going to be, typical Warren Buffett and Benjamin Graham strategies. It's going to be more of a growth strategy. Of course, I like value investing, but still, well, that's not the discussing of this particular video. So just a handful of quote-unquote stocks and equities are going to outperform basically the rest. And it's just a Pareto principle of just 1-2%, something like that. Anyways, now how does apply to female psychology? Well, women are not going to pick, and please catch my drift, they are not going to pick the companies, the undervalued companies with good cash flow on the Russell 2000 or the Russell 3000 or, small cap companies or something like that. They are going to pick, la creme of la creme, the blue chip stocks, the NVIDIAs, the Tesla, the Metas, companies like that. The Apple, the companies that are established and also they are dominating on market cap. And the reason why is survival. And that is because that old dichotomy where you go to college and go through a process, and if you did not screw that up, you become, let's say, mildly successful at least. Well, that way is not how things are going to work right now. Now we have artificial intelligence and many people are going to get replaced, and it's going to be a Pareto principle. People who have, the people that doesn't have. The haves and have-nots. Yeah. And the main point is that what we're seeing right now is, yes, basically human demographics are going to become, yes, just like the venture capital and the stock market and that kind of thing. Just a handful, the FANG, let's call the FANG people, are the ones that are going to have most of the market cap. And the Russell 2000 and 3000 companies and small caps, they're going to struggle and keep struggling on the near future. I know it doesn't sound very optimistic for the future, but actually that's the point. And let's, see the silver lining of this particular situation is that still we are on time in order to develop something, in order to do things contrary as most people are doing. Remember, you have to go where the other people is doing, the smart money and the dumb money. You can, maybe you don't have the capital, but you are on the side of the smart money, at least on the smart side without the money, and maybe do something for yourself in order to be positioned, in order to be placed, in order to develop, in order to compete, to be maybe just below the FANG stock category and get some market share for yourself. Now, regarding women, of course, what I say is because women are not venture capitalists, they are not Peter Thiel, and I don't know Peter Thiel's dating strategies, but the main point is that women are not gonna pick someone that has a future or might develop something. They want the turnkey relationship. They want to have the turnkey things without necessarily giving the value that those things require. So that's the main point for today. Not venture capitalists. They are more of a sure thing play, a blue chip stock. And if you're watching this, well, the job, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. Become a blue chip, a FANG stock, a tech, an NVIDIA, something like that.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.